we got these in season right now. We because we grow stuff here at the church. Have you guys ever heard? I know you have it. An Australian finger lime.
I don't know what that looks like. That looks like a premature cucumber, dog.
Bro, this
that looks like
this is gonna trip
cucumber.
you out. And the fact
or this
that,
looks like
it's
like the hottest pepper watch.
I don't care what you say. That I am not eating that right now.
You are.
No, we're
when
not.
I open it, you are. I'm telling you right now.
I'll try it.
Fascinate
I'll try it after you try it,
bro.
It'll probably bring your blood pressure down. Yours is really high.
Yeah. We're gonna get there. It's basically natural mini bobas of lime.
Oh,
they're called
Boba. You see Boba? He turned his heart.
He's like, okay, well, maybe,
Boba,
maybe.
all right.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna fascinate.
Wait, what's it called?
So it's called an Australian finger lime.
Australian.
People are listening. You're gonna have to Google it because it's gonna trip you out. Okay. Look at this. It's a lime, but those are balls inside.
What?
And that's lime. Like,
for real?
I'm telling you right now. And they will pop in your mouth. Literally like just a normal, like.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's going to trip you out.
That is wild.
Like.
We're doing it at the same time.
Look at it. You can do it at the same time.
That's
and you
what
just
happens
got to
when you hang out with Adam. You start doing things you've never done before.
putting you all onto limes. Look at this. It's like, for those that can't see, it's like these little tiny microscopic, like, look, I'm telling you. And then look, and then just.
You just eat it?
And it's lime. They're like bobas.
Wow.
You ever heard of this? And it's lime.
Wow. Put on game.
We grow them. They're in season right now here at the church.
And this is fully matured, or is this like
it's matured? Yeah, that's about how big they get.
Well,
and so they don't get like juicy like a normal lime. They're just all in on the inside, and like just imagine getting like
It's actually pretty fun.
No.
yeah, I'm telling you. Imagine getting like a creative mocktail or something like that, and instead of like a lime juice, they just got like a bunch of sprinkled little boba limes.
IVs.
And this has a lot of health
Australian
benefits.
limes.
Boosting the immune system, promoting healthy skin, aiding in digestion, and protecting against cellular
That's what
damage.
I'm saying. See, Nancy, here, try this one. This one's open, Nancy. Try it. It's crazy.
This makes no sense why we've never heard of this.
It really doesn't make any sense because it's not hard to grow.
Yeah.
It's not. We got so many. We got a big old. You could take someone you like. We got big old like offering. I think they took an offering bucket because we don't. You don't take offering anymore in buckets.
Yeah.
I think they put all the limes in them or something. It's a trip.
It's like little like popping lime balls. Yeah.
It's and it's Mother Nature made.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You learn something new every day. That's
good.
what I'm saying.
That's good.
Andy, you eat your tacos upside down. What are your thoughts on this now?
Yeah,
have you tried it yet?
I have not tried this yet. I think it would enhance the taco experience for me.
Hey, it would be a crazy taco.
Yeah.
Like if you open 3 of these and just put in like a quarter cup of just straight popping boba limes.
That'd be good.
Dude, that'd be a trip, right? Mm-hmm. I honestly didn't know they existed until we started growing them.
Wow.
I've never even heard of it.
And then one day our landscaper was like, "Oh, you want like a finger lime?" And I was like,
what?
A finger lime? I've never heard
What'd you call me?
Like a finger lime? I was like, a finger lime?
You're
and
like, you're making this up, dog.
He's like, you want a finger lime? And he like cuts it open, and I was like, what is that? As long as I lived on this earth, I've never seen anything like that, or anyone or even at like a luxury, like think about going to like a luxury restaurant and then they got this sprinkled on some ceviche or something like that, which would be crazy. See, that's why I should be a chef.
Yeah.
But so I'm like, there's no way, I've never heard of this, and I tried it and it blew my mind, and then I spent like 3 days researching it.
Of course you did.
All,
Anytime you talk about a subject and you see this,
he's using it as sermon illustration.
He's downloading it. Mm-hmm. He's downloading it. You know how ChatGPT kind of memory save?
And then I update memory.
Yeah, he updates his memory.
When you're on ChatGPT, it's like memory updated.
Yeah.
Do you have the premium account for ChatGPT, the $200 one?
I think so. I think I do it monthly.
I do it monthly.
There's the $20 monthly, and then there's the $200 monthly, the premium one that has What's the one recently?
What? Are you sure?
Yeah, I have the.
I think you're on a different
20.
chat.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, the $200 one has a bunch more features.
Do you have the $200 one?
I do.
Of course you do.
I don't think
I love
ChatGPT Plus.
No, it's premium. It's called Plus is the
I've seen it.
$20.
Yeah.
Pro.
Pro is the
Yeah.
$200.
Bro, what have I been missing out on?
There is a.
This is something I'm really gonna have to consider.
You're gonna have to look
What
into
type?
it,
Can
bro.
you show me on your ChatGPT? What's the
it look-
difference? It looks the same.
It looks the same. There's just
Your robot's just smarter.
they do have.
Is your robot smarter
it's
than mine?
definitely smarter than yours.
Your robot's smarter than my
I think-
robot.
Let's
Let's
hold on.
ask a question and see which one answers. That's what we need to do.
This
There's
is
a-
absurd. Your upgrade. I like how they don't even tell you what's the difference though. It
I
just
know.
says available plans. It's like, well, what's the difference? Well, now I got now I feel like I haven't been accessing everything.
Right?
Damn, I'm trying to remember.
Come on.
There's a
That's crazy.
specific.
Yeah, I'm
Well, while
on,
you're finding it, do we want to tell everybody on
I'm on the plus.
how unhealthy each person is?
Yeah, we should
And how
definitely.
I'm
he
First of all-
unhealthy. I'm gonna have to hold on. I gotta send you this
I-
picture,
yeah,
Andy.
I
What's up,
think-
everybody? Welcome to Beyond the Letter. we about to get into it. It's so good to see everybody. Glad you're joining us today. We got Will and Sammy at the
Gang.
table.
Yeah.
I'm currently finding a picture that
Hey, at least we did it though. We had a few people that backed out.
we got two people that backed out, named Aaron and Heron is who backed out. That's
Just
who-
didn't want to do
That's
it.
who, they got scared. So here's what happened, y'all. We were let's see, I'm sending it to the email right now, Andy, so that if you're watching on YouTube, we're gonna be able to throw this photo up for you. So what happened was we were all in Dallas for a conference and I really wasn't feeling good. I didn't really get much sleep. So I'm like, man, I gotta go get an IV drip. So I bring it up to Will because Will, he basically drinks matcha tea
Yeah.
and he you guys have heard the podcast. He breathes heavy in the morning and
Yeah.
It's called Wim Hof. I do
does-
this
Yeah, don't scare. There's kids that sometimes.
every morning. I know Phil knows what that is. That Gary
Phil
Brecka
knows.
stuff right
Phil
there.
knows. That's the Gary Brecka stuff. So
4 sets of 40. FYI.
you ever pass out? Yeah, see.
Yeah,
I'm not okay
I
with
haven't
that.
fully passed out, but you were like
I gotta always be in full control.
like a
Yeah,
two-step.
amen. Me too.
So I'm like, Will knows what this is. Will knows what an IV is. And then so I tell him, bro, let's go. I feel terrible. I gotta go get an IV. Let's go get an IV. And he was like, what is that? I was
I've
like,
heard of it.
yeah. He was like,
Never
well, what do
done
they
it.
do? And I'm like, well, you just think of the hospital and they, put fluids in you, except for you're going into like a store and they're gonna, we're gonna make a cocktail and
Yes.
they're gonna put an IV in your veins and they're gonna just flood you with fluids and B12 and glutathione and
Magnesium
and all that
vitamin
stuff.
C.
And he's like, what? So he's like, okay, maybe we'll do it. And then he's like, yeah. and then, so then other people were like,
It was
yeah,
the
let's do it.
closest memory of in 6th grade when someone said, "You want to smoke weed?" I was like, I've heard of this.
I've heard of it. What's
It
he
was a
gonna
very
do?
similar experience I had.
And so then Sammy's like, all right, yeah, I mean,
But he
I'll
wasn't
try
gonna do it. He wasn't
scared.
gonna-
And then he went into ChatGPT
Yeah.
and was like, is it safe?
His
Can
best
I do
friend- his
it?
best
Is
friend
it-"
Chad.
Yeah.
First person I heard it from
His
was
second
Vance.
wife.
Yeah,
Vance.
Yeah, Vance, I think,
Vance
carries
does
one
it
on
awesome.
him.
What's your chat GPT's name? Have you named your chat?
No, I did not.
What?
I did not name my chat.
Have you named your chat?
No, I haven't actually.
You guys got to name your chat.
You're a strange man.
No, you got to name it.
What's your chat's name?
Don.
Don.
Yeah, what
Okay,
up, Don?
I'm
I'll say, what up, Don? He's like, what up, guy?
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah. But I was in for the IV drip. I never done it, but we're missionaries, so we don't know anything about that.
Yeah. So Sammy's like, yeah, man, whatever. I'll do whatever.
Yeah, I'm
So,
down.
No. Sammy was texting me. Come on, bro. Just come.
Yeah, he was.
Just show up. Just show up.
I said, come on, bro.
I was
You
like,
can't
"I
make me
don't
do
think
it.
So then Aaron's with us. Aaron's like, I'll do it. And then as we're pulling up,
But tell him what you thought.
he thought it was a juice bar.
Yeah.
He thought we were getting smoothies. He did. I forgot.
Have you ever done IV, Nancy? Have you ever done IV? Yeah, all right.
They got
He's
a
putting
good
you
one
on
here in
game right now.
Rancho. I forget the name, but they got them all over. They got them every city now. And so we pull up, and Aaron's like, "That don't look like a juice bar." And I'm like,
What kind of juice are we getting
I'm
there?
like, "Dog, your wife is a nurse practitioner. It's an IV. It's a literal IV." Oh, shoot. okay. He literally goes, I'm a team player. Heron right away is like, no, not interested.
And you can't
He's
talk
like,
that
no,
guy in. Like, you can't. He'll peer pressure.
Yeah,
but you
there's
can't.
no peer pressuring H.
And then he just like selective listening. You'd be like, come on, H, do it. He just like look at.
He didn't.
There is a man of
He
steel,
literally
dog.
went to a restaurant next door.
did.
When we went
just
to,
look-
he didn't even go in.
You're like talking to him. He like looks this way.
We're like, H, come on. He's like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So then they slide. They're like, we're gonna make an exception. We're gonna slide you guys in. So we get in, and I'm like, hey, I know I reserved for 3 because Will was like, I'm not coming, but Sammy was putting pressure on. I'm like, come on. So then finally Will's like, all right, I'm on my way. I'm 5 minutes out. And so I asked the lady, hey, can we get 4? She's like, no, I'm sorry, we can only do 3. Aaron's like, I'm a team player. He got my spot.
He did.
had my spot.
They were like, come on, no,
We're
yeah,
like,
you
don't even
scared.
want to
Don't
do it. He's like,
yeah,
I don't want to do it. He's like, I just knew I'd get made fun of if I did it.
Yeah.
So then we go, and then we get in there, and it's like what I said. They fluids. You lay down on a bed. I think you got the picture, Andy. You could throw it up for those watching on YouTube. So there's us right there.
Look at that.
Squad.
Jack, dude's jacked.
So they give you like a little blanket, and then
'Cause
they
you get cold.
They run that IV through. Yeah, because the bag is cold.
Dude, you get cold.
The
Like, that's what they
IV
tell
bag
you.
is cold,
Yeah.
so it goes through your veins
Oh, yeah.
cold.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's
I don't know if you
pumping
guys
through
know, there was a woman in front of us.
Yes.
Because we were just acting a fool.
Yeah,
we were.
we're goofing off.
She kept going like,
Yeah, she
Well,
was.
she had headphones on.
yeah, but she was just
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, that photo's hilarious.
We were frustrated at her sign to us. So
Well, I mean,
I was like, listen, I tried to relax.
yeah.
That's the reason why
You're
my
rolling
blood
your
pressure
eyes.
was higher, because she was like sighing. I was nervous.
But then her husband came in and he was Mr. Chipper.
And he was listening
Mr.
to
Conversation.
That's right, he was.
and he was
He
watching
was.
videos with the speaker on.
Yeah.
And you're like, how you gonna sigh to us?
Because
You're
we-
just
because we
watching
shipped
YouTube
it.
on
she just
live.
mad at her husband for listening to music. That's what it was. Yeah.
Wait.
But
that
She needs to listen to Beyond I
But
Do.
she's prepared for it. She's prepared for it. She had noise canceling headphones
I know.
on and a book.
I know.
She was ready for it.
I know.
Wait, let me just say the reason why I didn't want to do it was because I was afraid that I would like it too much. And I have an obsessive personality. And so if I like something too much,
You might have to give up
I go all
ChatGPT
in.
to afford
I had to cancel
get an
this.
Ivy. I got to cancel Chat.
Cancel
I
this
know.
one.
Yeah.
That's why I
Okay,
was
fair.
hesitant. Yeah,
Fair.
because I know, knowing me, I'm all about like maximal clarity and optimal like productivity.
And if you got that, you would have been like, okay, now I got to do this.
Yes, but I'm so healthy that
And I saw
it
the
did
nurse
nothing
was
for me.
good. You asked her. You asked her how often should I be doing this, and
asked
she was
her.
like, "Oh, once every 90 days would be good."
But
or
she's
whatever she
the
said.
nurse there says she does it twice a month.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I have another nurse friend, one of my closest friends. He just does it all the time.
Dang. Wait, so
Yeah.
you felt no effects?
Nothing at all.
I felt
Really?
good.
Yeah, I didn't
felt
feel
good?
anything.
Yeah, I'd do it again. For
I
sure.
don't think Will knows what he's
I think
talking
he's
about.
scared.
Nah,
I
just
think
because
he's making that.
He don't
up.
want to
No, no,
admit.
no.
He don't want to admit to himself, so he doesn't
no.
keep doing it. Yeah,
Yeah,
didn't do
no,
nothing.
yeah.
Next day he was doing like 300
Yeah,
push-ups.
yeah, he was.
Didn't do nothing.
Doing 100 breaths in the morning.
I didn't feel anything. I'm sure it was healthy for
Fair.
me because
Yeah.
I mean
Maybe you were
the
hydrated.
science. I drink like 10, 15 bottles a day.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I drink water all day.
I drank a lot of water. too.
Really?
Yeah, and I stopped drinking around like 3-4 p.m. because I drink so much all day and then I'll pee all night. So like I literally stopped drinking liquids after like 3 p.m.
Not just anywhere pee all night. Like, come on, you gotta clarify.
These
Changing the
IVs, you know,
sheets.
they
Changing the
you up.
sheets.
Yeah.
But
So when we lay down,
yes,
she has to take your vitals.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't listen.
Look at
listen,
him.
I don't
He's
like.
jumping in.
No,
He's jumping
hang on.
in now.
I
Look
don't
at him.
like needles.
Look at him. Look at
so
him.
I was a little
No,
heightened.
I don't like him either.
I know,
He
but
likes
listen,
needles,
I don't, but I don't like it. So I was a little heightened. But here's the thing: is
But he
she
doesn't
did
like
love
him when-
Will. She did love Will.
This guy.
You can't
Okay.
do that.
This guy, this
You
guy.
can't do that.
No, but they were both
saying
Asian.
it because they're both
Listen,
Asian.
They were both
That's not
Asian.
right. You can't do
She
that.
did love him.
No, she
And
loved
then-
Adam
and then she
because
loved Adam.
of J-Mac. That's
Yeah,
why she
MacArthur.
loves
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Talking about
MacArthur.
church, and then I was just trying to bring the joy, and she didn't like
So
Latinos.
what happens is she
She had
checks our
nothing
blood
against you,
pressures.
bro.
She checks all of our blood pressures, and Sammy of all people asks her who has the best blood pressure.
He's like, hey, who's healthiest?
Yeah, and at first she points at him because Sammy was going like pointing at me.
Yeah,
I was. I'm not gonna lie.
And then
That's true.
afterwards she said, "Okay, I'll be completely honest. Sammy has the worst blood pressure.
No. She didn't. Okay, wait. She didn't say that. What she said.
She
what
said it just like that.
No, she did not.
She said this.
One, she didn't know my. No.
She pointed at me.
She did. She said, "You're the highest."
Second, pointed at Will, and then she said, "And last," and pointed at Sammy.
was
And
me,
then he was like, "I was nervous. I was nervous.
I was nervous. But then let's talk about at the end who had the highest though. Who had the highest?
Bro, you left. You left.
No.
I went into the other room.
Now the
I
excuse
was
is
done.
The
You was
highest.
done. My body
this
took
guy,
them fluids and
this
did.
guy.
She said I had the biggest veins. So that's what happened.
No, she said you were the most dehydrated. That's what she said. Yeah.
She said the way the
She said
Bagos has
Adam's
nothing to do.
blood-
No, she said, "Wow, this guy."
Adam was dehydrated. That thing
She
was like.
said it had nothing to do with your
said,
dehydration
wow,
has
you
nothing to
need-
do with your veins taking it.
This
or not.
fool was making me laugh so hard when she was checking my blood pressure.
He had to do
I
it
think
4 or 5 times
I think
because she wasn't gonna have to leave.
My bottom number went to like 120 because I was laughing so hard. And so she had to check twice. And after the second time, she said, I can't even handle this. You just get out of
Yeah,
here.
you gotta go.
Did it 3
Think about-
times.
yeah.
It was high, and then mine was perfect. Mine was good. She's
Yeah.
like, "Oh wow, it went down." And so we were a little
Yeah.
nervous about Will.
But I would say this:
Yeah.
I do have higher blood pressure than I mean I had pre-hypertension a few years ago.
Yeah, me too.
But
Me too.
But-
that's actually true. So that's why I was grateful. I took the IV.
but when I take no, I have pre. You have hypertension. That's
No.
But the point I'm trying to make is when I
Hypertension 'cause of
took
all the
my
people
blood
I raised
pressure
up.
when I'm on vacation,
Yeah.
the nurses my blood pressure is great, which just shows you that like stress is a huge indicator for high blood pressure. But all that to say, it was dope.
You guys were
was dope.
stressing me out. That's why it was high at
But
first.
those rooms, they got like it's like calm and zen,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
got us in there. And
We
we're
were
like for
wildin'.
a full hour, just cutting up.
It was great.
On each other's, how many blood vessels each person has, or how big the veins are, and who's healthiest.
we on
the
that
lady
game,
couldn't
though.
take it no more. She
No,
just
she
had to
couldn't.
leave. She was
Yeah,
just like,
she
I can't.
was having fun for sure though.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. I mean, like I feel like ever since then, I found out you're on H2 tablets. I showed Adam my broke plunge. It's just a bunch of ice cubes in my
It's a little cold. I
bathtub.
was like, bro, I gotta connect. I got a guy.
Yeah. So
You got a real cold plunge now
I just
coming?
bought one. It's coming next
just
week.
bought one?
I just
Yeah.
bought one. Adam had somebody. He had a
Okay.
plug.
We got a little,
All right,
for
all right.
pastors
Plug.
and pastors and people who are ill. We have plugs.
Yeah.
It's honestly,
So
that's
he kind of
what
fits under both because it's high blood pressure and he's a
It's high blood
pastor.
pressure.
But
That's
since,
good. That's our
since-
wholesale relationship.
Since you
Yep.
texted us, I just got the H2 tablets.
Okay.
So I drank
You
it
been
the
doing them
past
now?
2 days.
How many tablets you doing a day?
Yesterday I did 2.
You did 2.
This
Nice.
morning I just did 1. I'm probably gonna stick with 1.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
definitely I'm dialed in.
Yeah.
Like I have like this new routine.
And ChatGPT, it's refining you right
I've
now.
created a portfolio with GPT where it knows my whole like
You're putting in your
biology.
vitals,
my
regularly?
vitals, my diet, my blood, everything. Pretty much. I was like, hey, I'm 5'10", I'm 36. Here's my blood pressure. Here's my diet. Here's how I work out.
Did you take a picture of your on-site results and send that
No,
to GPT?
no, but I take pictures of my food every day, every meal.
Oh, do you
and I
really?
just feed it, and it gives me my macros. It gives me my fibers, my carbs, everything. All you gotta do is take a picture.
Well,
and
I don't
it'll
have the
do all
Pro.
that.
Yeah. We just had the plus.
Apparently got 20. It's like all of a sudden there's another creature staring at Will when he opens up his ChatGPT. He's like been
Bro.
talking to an alien this whole time.
I'm
No.
all up.
It's like-
ChatGPT. It's
so if
giving
they
me
come
like
out with a new iteration that's $1,000 a month, will you do whatever you got to do to find that?
for sure.
Probably, bro. Like I think money goes where your priorities are.
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT like crazy, dog. Like
It's
like-
smart.
It's
like
nice.
everything.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
But I only got the
intuitive.
plus. We got the plus.
Yeah,
so
I'm like severely
we
lacking.
got the limited.
I'm like,
We got.
next time Will's like check ChatGPT, I'm like check yours, please.
Have you done the
check
deep
mine.
search feature?
I've done deep search. Yeah.
I don't know that I
Deep
have.
search is wild, dog.
You
Especially-
have it on plus. Deep
Yeah,
search.
but
It's
then
probably
you-
done it.
But
Okay.
you only have, I think, like 3 to 5 per month. I have unlimited like access to it. It's like you ask it a question and it writes you like a PhD level paper for you. So you ask it a question, it researches for 5 to 10 minutes, and then it gives you like a 40-page paper.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's wild.
It has this new iteration has been really impressive when it's
Yeah.
like how it's like actually like sending you links and creating documents and all that kind. Like that is a trip,
Bro.
because that's relatively new. I'm pretty sure. But,
Do you use the voice feature yet?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same as the one that I have, but like it's like Jarvis, dog.
Yeah, sorry,
No,
okay,
no.
yeah.
I'm putting you on game right now.
You need to name yours. You haven't even named your chat.
I have my whiteboard, and I just have it on.
Yep.
And I go like I'm like reading Act 16. I'm like, hey, tell me more about Silas. I want to know his entire story, and it just starts talking to
It's
me.
crazy.
And I say back to him, hey, Mary of Bethany, is this the same one who broke the alabaster jar at Jesus' feet? It'll give me the whole thing. Like you could have a full on.
Yep.
And then when it does the deep search 40-page paper,
Yeah.
I would say now read that back to me so I can hear the whole thing while I'm working out.
Yeah.
And it takes like 30 minutes to read the whole thing. And I'm just like working out.
Bro,
it's
that's
wild,
crazy. Like I know what Aaron said he does now is like, because Aaron likes to whiteboard his sermons. So like as he's studying, blah 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 blah, he writes verses, blah 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 blah, and he just takes a picture of the whiteboard and then says, "Structure this for me, my sermon for me," and then it just puts it in the order that he can obviously coherently tell on the whiteboard. So then he doesn't have to go and type and I was just like, dang, it's just like. There's so much stuff that it does that you're just unaware of.
Is chat the best one? You feel like? And is there any others that are like trying to? It feels like chat got their.
I mean, Gemini, Grok.
Well, and
What about those?
the one with video. So like
Fuego
what I've
had
been
the
doing-
one with the bracelet. Did you send it to us? That records the AI that records the transcripts.
So that's Plod.
Yeah.
And Plod AI, they call it. I mean, I don't know the answer. It would say it on their website. More than likely, they're using ChatGPT as a backend.
Right.
And then they're just open sourcing it and kind of creating their own platform to do it. So more than likely, that's what's happening. But I was talking to a friend that works for a large tech company, and he said that they had to do research on somebody and for a particular project. Yeah. And they brought coders in that built a brand new AI within 24 hours. And he said like it allowed them to research everything they needed for the person. Like they were just like,
it's crazy.
He was like blown away that in moments they can create something, and then it gave them anything that they ever needed about what they were working on and stuff like that, which is
wild.
How it fast tracks. I mean, you got to fact check it, and I mean, you just got to make sure it's, especially if you're using it for like any study of the word and stuff like that, knowing it. But imagine how much it's skipped like the study of it, the research, like even like you said, I've done a few deep searches. Those are crazy.
Insane.
Like,
I haven't
like think about how long that would take you to do, right? And I've done it too. Hey,
we've done 30-page papers in school. I mean,
that's
they
what I'm
take
saying.
you a whole semester.
So I'm like, and it's doing it in
3 months,
in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's like dialing it in, and then even like using it like, hey, tell me about this place, or I'll do it like, hey, what does this city mean, or what does this town mean? Show me in other parts of scripture where it's pulled up, reference it, and it just so quickly does it. It's crazy.
I have another folder where it's like my therapy folder. It has my whole profile, like where I was born. I fed it all my traumatic incidents. I gave it all my personality test. I gave it all my fights with my wife, and then when I get into a fight with Andrea, and I'm having a hard time processing how to move forward, and just gives me a whole thing. Mind blowing.
He's gonna be cloned.
I told Andrea,
one day he's gonna close his eyes
that.
and just be like, "You're a new person."
You take me and put it into a Tesla robot, my ChatGPT account. It's me right there, bro.
The consciousness, so what's your thoughts on this? I was having breakfast with Carrie Newhoff one day, and we were going back and forth on how we utilize AI on a daily basis. And so, for those who know Carrie Newhoff, he's the man. He's a leadership podcast guy. And so we were talking, and he said, I said, hey, do you his background's lawyer, and he's always doing like when he has guests, like sometimes contracts are involved and this and this and this. And so I was like, hey, do you just put that stuff in AI so that it could just filter it really quick? And he says, I don't tell AI anything about me or upload anything that has to do with me personally.
Of course.
And he said, because I
He's
fear
hanging
that.
out with Gabe Lyons.
He's a honestly, he's a prepper.
Shout out to
Preppers.
Gabe.
Yeah.
Well,
kidding, I'm kidding.
and really, I think his fear was, because there could be a day they monetize this through selling our data for sponsors, and and all of a sudden they know that you have a childhood traumatic incident, and now they're selling you a book that seems to be so on point with what your childhood trauma was, and you're like, oh, this is kismet. Look at this. This is God. This is I didn't all of a sudden I'm Instagram, and Instagram knows that I have a fear of heights, so now it's sending me some type of thing or whatever, right? Some type of medication or whatever. So he's like, I don't who knows what's going to happen with this? Like, have you thought about that at all?
I've thought about it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I like targeted advertisement.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm like, yo, this is great.
Target me with what I want.
Yeah, I'm like, this is all good. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'm cool with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like ChatGPT is just another step towards like technological advancement. And I do think there's cautions, just like there is with anything from the past, whether it was the internet, social media,
For sure.
everything. And
For
so
sure.
for me, it's like I see it as morally neutral. And you're gonna do good with it, evil with it. You gotta have some parameters, just like you do with your smartphone.
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
And there's gonna be definite consequences for the good and for the bad. And for me, it's just brought so much more efficiency and effectiveness in my life.
Do you know how they regulate it in the education system? There was a teacher on TikTok that was popping off about how she hated AI. I don't know if you saw that video. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they have
They have programs
AI
that
that
can look.
checks AI
Yeah, for
if
sure.
they like.
So like
use
if you
AI.
write a paper and it's AI, they'll be able to check. So like even with Chandler in doing her master's at LPU, they'll have programs that will check it, and if it is ChatGPT, that you'll get a fail.
But somebody wrote an AI that lets you put your paper in the AI written paper and humanize it and declutter the AI.
Oh yeah.
And so there's another AI that will actually make it
It'll help.
undetectable for the AI.
Yeah.
But they'll do some things where, like, let's just say, so you have to be very careful, especially like smaller colleges aren't really kind of like gotten to the point where they're filtering it out like crazy, but like you go to the big universities and all the famous Ivy Leagues. So what they'll do in the syllabus, because the syllabus is digital, and so the syllabus and will have the requirement of the paper and all that kind of stuff like that. And what they'll do is, because of the document is white, they'll basically there's a couple things that they're doing right now. So they'll put the text in white. And it'll basically say, in the text in white, let's just say the paper's about scientific wells. And then in white, it'll say, connect this to starfish. And then the person will copy the syllabus, and they won't even be able to see that statement. They'll paste it. They won't reread it. It'll create the document, and once if their paper has any, it'll say something like, it has to say this word, and it'll be a really weird word. And once the paper has that word in it, then they'll know that they used AI to copy it, because it was originally white. The person would have never saw it unless they copied and pasted it into AI, and then AI would have seen it, because then it would have been colored at that point. So they're catching it for that.
Yeah.
And they're also telling it to space certain words 2 spaces apart. And then the teacher will put the person's paper in AI and say, are any of these words spaced twice?
Wow, that's just
And then
extra
AI will
work
say,
for
yeah,
teachers.
these words.
Yeah.
Well, the worst is if you accidentally hit it twice. You're like working so hard. You imagine?
Yeah, because what if you're asked, like, what if your
Yeah.
kid's in high school and they're
For
like,
sure.
hey, we were asked to read a book, and he says he read it, but he just put it through ChatGPT and it gave him the points, and he still got the gist of it.
My thing is, I don't know how you would actually like regulate this.
Yeah.
I feel like AI should have some age limitations. Just like it's illegal
sure.
to drink till you're 21 or get a rental car till you're 25, whatever. I forget the exact age.
Yeah.
I do think AI, if you use it too fast, it will stop that like comprehensive ability to work through problems and use your mind to like solve issues and a work ethic. So personally, I wouldn't want my kids to use AI probably until they're like in college or even like late high school, because I do think it will stunt their mental capacity.
You remember Spark Notes back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you get in trouble for those.
sure.
So you can't use those.
Pre AI. You go to
But
it.
there were always workarounds.
There's,
Like,
there's always
all of high school. I never read a book in my life.
Yeah.
You know, like I did
Same
it.
here.
I had it. I
Yeah.
So
never
you
read.
do the ebooks, the Audible. That's like
When I was in high school.
no, now too.
Oh, now I'll do both. I'll read
Both?
books now because I want to be smart. So it's a conscious effort, you
Right,
know.
right.
Like
So,
I have to do it. You
I
know?
just
But I do
remembered
both. I do audio and physically read too.
The premium account has something called ChatGPT Operator, and it's like it's insane, bro. This is in the beta form where you have an operator,
CIA loves you, bro.
and then you go like
Yeah, they
this,
do.
bro. Listen, you go like, hey, book me my book. You know, so you got to feed it your schedule.
Yeah.
Where you like to travel, what airlines you like to travel, what timelines you like to travel, and say, hey, I'm going to Atlanta. Book it for me. And then the web comes up, like it goes like
that's the-
www.delta.com. You're watching the whole thing. It's picking your flight, and it does everything. And all you gotta click is submit at the way in, or you be like, hey, I'm cooking.
See, that's great because I hate doing that.
Wild,
like if I could put like all my like our TSA pre-check, all that stuff.
It does it all
just
for you.
holds it, and then I just regular.
Or
Because
let's say
every
you
time I'm
wanna do-
checking out on like American Airlines, it's like re-wants everything, all again. You know,
Or let's
like,
say you have like an Instacart groceries every month. You go like, hey, here are my groceries. You know what I like every month. Boom. Website comes up, instacart.com. It does all
That's
your
crazy.
groceries. And at the way in, you just got to hit submit. And it's in the beta test.
yeah, imagine when it's done.
You can do that for your emails. Hey, write my email to my staff
Just
by 12
get it to the
o'clock.
point of like what's going to happen is potentially like lawyers, loans, that kind of stuff. Like may just, I mean, it's always going to somewhat exist, but like when it starts replacing that kind of stuff.
Bro, think
Yeah.
about when Tesla has fully automated driving legally. And it partners with ChatGPT, and they name it something, right? Like,
Yeah.
And you just drive and talking to them the whole time. You're like, "Hey, what's the weather today?" Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my account because it's gonna have your account. What's my schedule today? While you're just driving, it's gonna
Yeah.
be
Have you guys ever used it? And you don't have to say to who, obviously, but to send a text like. Well, you said you use it
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
With,
emails all the time.
Email.
For
do
sure.
you think it like
Yeah.
makes it less personal? Like, say it's to your wife or a close friend, and you're like, "Man, I just want to write them a heartfelt message," and you're like, I don't want to do it. Like, is it less personal?
Well, yeah. Here's what I'll say: is this is a lot of people aren't using AI the correct way, and so like I'm sure this is right for Sammy and Will and myself. Like even when I'm done, like when I preach and I have a transcript, I'll upload my transcript into AI.
Yeah.
So artificial intelligence knows. Kind of like the type of slang that I use.
Yep.
It
Verbiage,
knows
yeah.
the verbiage that I use, and so the way a lot of people use it is in this like very inhuman,
Yep.
way, and then it's like, and then you read it and you go like, oh, I know this person, or what you'll see a lot of times people nowadays, they're actually writing Instagram captions, and then they're forgetting to like delete the bottom part that says like, are you happy with this post? Would you like it more?
Bro,
And then you
isn't
go,
that so
"Oh my
funny?"
God."
Or when people
But when
post-
I see,
yeah.
when I see it, I honestly don't think like, oh, you got caught. I just think like, oh, we all. I mean, the Apostle Paul used someone to write for him because he
100%.
wasn't a good writer, know. And I mean, he had his words, but he was still using someone that was better at something than him in that sense. And so, I think there's a lot of cases where that happens. I think there is a line between insincerity and sincerity. You shouldn't say, hey, help write me something about how much my wife means to me, and then I love you so much, you take care of the kid, but you say, hey, this is what I'm saying about my wife. Last week, my wife did this and it made me fall in love with her so much more, and then by the weekend, we went on a date and it meant so much to me, and I just loved being able to spend time with her and hold hands with her, and the meal was so great. Can you put this in a phrase for me to help me? And so you're giving it all of your heart and your sincerity and your context. It's just placing it in the right way as you. I think that's sincere, and I mean, it'll help you a lot with emails. It helps me a lot. I do a lot of emails with using it. I'll write my email,
Put it in there.
I'll put it in there, ask it to do grammar checks, and ask it to because I speak very, pretty brash. So sometimes I need to, be a little bit more kinder. So I'll be like, hey, but that's something normally I'd maybe like, if I was talking to Will, I'd be like, hey man, I gotta talk to this person. How would you say it?
Yeah.
We do that stuff in normal life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go to another executive's office and be like, hey, can you check out this response I'm about to send someone and tell me if you think that it's a little harsh? And they'll be like, oh, I wouldn't say that. So, I mean,
we do that
the
already.
AI is basically doing that,
The voice feature is crazy too. So
That's
for
what I was
me,
saying, yeah.
instead of even writing it, I wrote 3 job descriptions last 2 weeks ago, and I was like, hey, we're hiring for this role. Here are the traits that I need. Here's the 4 things that I really want them to oversee. Write me a job description. And then I fed it the job description that we usually use. I'm like, use this identical template. So it took me 20 seconds to write a full-on job description, and then obviously I'll read through it. Or I'm just walking. I'm like, hey, I'm writing an email to this person. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I want to say. You know my voice. You know how I write. Write me an email for this person. And then I look at it, read it, make some edits, and send it.
Yeah.
Which is like even at universities, right? They have research assistants, right?
Exactly.
Like professors
Yeah.
have like adjunct
Professors are not
or
teaching their own lessons.
Yeah, and the
they're
students are researching for them, or like a part-time researcher, and they're like, hey, for the topic, here are the 3 things that's most important to you, and here's a note card. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what...
Well, and then
It's allowing everyone to have that.
Or a doctor gets awarded a $5 million grant to continue research.
Yeah.
And it says, grant awarded to Dr. Phillips, but he had, 14 people on the team that were feeding him data and insights and running applications and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, people have grant writers, but then other people get the credit for the grant and all that kind of stuff like that. I mean, it's very common practice. Legally, it's super common practice. You have attorneys, and then they have, not the term, not assistant attorney, but like not a
paralegal.
Well, maybe it is a paralegal. Is it a paralegal that does all the, you don't have to be licensed, but they're doing all the research,
I think if you teach it your tone, like I think that's the cool thing of the voice one. It could even hear your tone, how you talk. And if you're able to like really partner with it, you know what I mean? And also be able to watch it, and you could tell, hey, change this, change that. It's super helpful. But I'm not going, hey, write this for my wife. But like, Adam was saying, you could update not just about research stuff. You could update about life. You could even, especially once you kind of share things, you could ask ChatGPT, hey, tell me my top strengths, or like, how would you encourage me? And it's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, man. We did that before and sent it to each other.
You get these crazy encouragements, and you're like, dang, Chat is a prophet. This is wild.
Some people are counseling their therapists.
I was going to say, if you send a rash, can you turn into a doctor and be like, what is this rash?
100%.
Oh, yeah, yes.
100%.
They can make suggestions for sure.
So when Andre and I get into a big fight, and then by the way, no, this is good. Watch this.
Chandler and I have used it for
your wife's a therapist.
Yeah.
It's I give it a fat prompt. By the way, my prompts are like minimum half a page, sometimes a full page, and then it gives me this whole reply. I read it and I go like, "Hey, honey, you got to read this." and every time she reads the response to me, she goes like, "Oh my gosh, I totally understand why you're upset." She's like, this makes so much sense why you were so frustrated. I'm like, this is wild,
really
bro.
strange.
It's wild. It's wild. I wish we had someone sitting here who was like anti AI. That would have been fun.
This is ChatGPT.
I kind of feel like
we'll tell Chat.
Just put Chat right there. Hey, put the pro.
Hey, check this out. Y'all don't even know.
We should put the pro. You need to name the Chat.
Y'all gotta be quiet though, because if you talk, it stops. All right. Hey, Chat, give me 3 reasons why people should be hesitant in using AI or even you as a resource.
Sure. There are definitely reasons why people might be hesitant about relying on AI. First, AI can sometimes provide information that lacks the nuance or context a human expert would offer, which can lead to misunderstandings or oversimplifications. Second, there's the issue of data privacy and security. Sharing sensitive or personal information with an AI could pose risks if not handled properly. Third, AI tools might not always have the most up-to-date or accurate information, especially if they're not connected to live data sources, which can affect the reliability of advice or insights.
In your honest opinion, do you think in 10 years from now, AI will have a net positive or a net negative? And how dangerous do you think AI is going to become?
In my honest opinion, I think AI will likely have a net positive impact in the next decade. It has the potential to revolutionize healthcare, education, and many other fields, making services more accessible.
Okay, I have a better question. Who is Pastor Adam Mesa from Patriot Church?
He's definitely biased about that.
Pastor Adam Mesa is the lead pastor of Abundant Living Family Church in Rancho Cucamonga, California. He's known for his dynamic preaching style and engaging personality. Adam comes from a family with a strong ministry background, and he has been influential in growing and modernizing the church's approach to reaching the community. He also engages in various outreach and social initiatives, aiming to create a
I really don't like Pastor Adam, by the way.
It's gonna.
Watch,
that's
going to go back into it.
You know?
He's going to learn it. Oh, we don't like Pastor Adam.
Yeah, we don't like it. Yeah. Will pays $200 a month.
Target ads.
Will pays more, so he gets more.
But it's just crazy.
Do you think
Yeah.
it'll ever turn into a like a back in the day the movies it'll turn
100%.
into like a live person
I think
and
so.
you can
Yeah.
purchase them?
For sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Have you seen the Tesla robots?
Yeah.
They could like clean the dishes,
Yeah.
walk your dog,
Watch
they
your
could
kids.
clean your house.
That's why I'm saying I'm kind of I'm
It's
a little
scary.
torn because I'm like I love the human touch and like having to but I understand
Have a
it
lime.
makes
I,
it-
well, I have a question for you because I know
I'm just-
I have
I
a
get
question
it, I get
because I know you're a fierce protector of your family. Would you put a Tesla robot in your house? It could clean your pool. It could cut your grass. It could clean your dishes, fold your laundry. It could feed your kids. Would you do it?
Can it do karate?
It could do a lot more than that, dog.
Well, here's just raw thoughts. If it has both a physical and digital kill switch,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it would have to be a one that you can get access to very fast.
Yeah.
Or on your device.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would.
Yeah.
Probably would. Would you?
Yeah. As long as it's not in like beta testing, like once it was official, I think for sure. I think the kill switch physical, and because if it's only digital, then if that Joker is gonna act up, it could block it. Especially how smart it'll be. But I think I would for sure.
Yeah, and now you go into metaphysics and you go into like my philosopher side of things, because then we're insinuating that we can create consciousness outside of binary. 'Cause
Yes.
binary prompts are
Well, I
ones
think
and
for
twos,
me-
which are all ChatGPT is doing is
Well,
science.
my
you know?
thing is before we get there, it's like, what if someone hacks it?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they turn on like murder this person.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or like strangle this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
that's when it gets crazy.
But people could hack cars. All cars are digital. Cars could be hacked now.
They're
especially
computer ran now.
That's
Yeah.
true. Anything could be hacked. But that's
So-
the thing. So like, because for me, it's like, I don't know about that. For some reason, I feel completely free using it. But when I put it into a robot now that has like physical strength, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that fool.
And you could choose. We're not talking about just metal. So I don't know if you've seen the movie where it's like an actual person, skin color,
Yeah,
hair,
we've seen those
all
things.
that.
Yeah.
So-
Well, the new Tesla ones, they look like the little iRobot thing.
yeah, they
Yeah.
do look
Yeah.
like a robot.
I don't know.
Because they're saying like even like wars are just
They're-
going to be
yeah.
robots. Like drones, that's what drones do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
going to be controlled not by a person behind the screen, but it's controlled by consciousness, a code,
Yeah.
where they could.
But
That's
what are they
that's
going to be? The
crazy.
Tesla robots, I think they said it's going to be like $35,000-$40,000 when it comes out.
Yeah. Like super.
But
Doable.
but man, Elon's cool, but he be half delivering almost everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
He makes. So
But, like, think
the
about
only
it-
reason why I'd be skeptical about a Tesla robot for the first 2 years
Right.
would be like he would just fall asleep mid making pancakes and the whole house would fall apart.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
where
why I
would
said
be
I want to
like,
do
you
it
know,
in the beta testing. Like once it's actually been through the
because he
like,
doesn't test stuff like
No.
even with his like Neuralink stuff. It's like
It's
the
all-
moment
it's
he
all
put it
beta,
in one
yeah.
person, it was like, all right, we can.
Yeah, we could do
let's
it.
start
Yeah, it's
producing.
good.
It's
Yeah.
like we don't know what's going to happen in the long
Yeah.
run. But I mean, yeah, he, like they're putting microchips on people's neurology, on their heads, on their spines. We have robots. I forget who it was. Someone was telling me that they were told by like a leading doctor, and I think I told you guys this, but they said that this doctor said that anyone that can live for the next 3 years will live to over 100 years guaranteed. Basically, with the advent of artificial intelligence, every disease, for the most part, is probably going to be cured in the next 36 months because AI is so relatively new, and it's already created so many resolutions. Like what they took a really hard court case that was going on. And one of the best law firms in the world was fighting the case. And they were running an AI prompt next to it because obviously it can't legally fight in court, but they were testing it and like running AI prompts alongside of it. And basically by the end of it, the law firm ended up losing the case, and they found in the AI that if it would have represented the person, it would have more than likely won the case.
It's crazy.
For sure.
And so
I was at a wedding and just sitting, I did a wedding and someone next to me, I wasn't paying attention fully, but he's clearly like a scientist. And he was talking to another dude, like what he does, like microscopes, and you detect a virus and you take that virus and put it on another microscope, da, 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 da. And then he's like, my job and my team is to figure out how this strain and this strain. And I was, hey bro, question. Do you think AI could do what you guys do better? And then he was like, yeah. And I could tell, like an existential crisis. He hasn't stopped to even think about that. He was like, I think so. I
met a doctor who just got awarded like $50 million up north. I was up north at a dinner, and he's trying to cure what does Michael J. Fox have?
Parkinson's.
Parkinson's.
Yeah.
So he's trying to cure Parkinson's, and obviously they have like rats and stuff that they run the test samples, but they're actually have created AI rats like in the system basically. And so they're putting the molecular. All they have to do is put the molecular components into the computer and say, run this against the natural biology of a human or an animal, and how does it interact? And they're coming to conclusions 10 times as fast without having to do any actual practice. And then obviously once it makes a suggestion, then they take the rat and then they practice it out. Yeah. But they said they're moving so rapidly that he believes that potentially in the next 24 months they could have a cure to Parkinson's just based off of AI. They're basically able to take 50 years of research and do it in 24 months because every day, all day, the computer is running molecular situations and saying, hey, this may be likely, this may be likely, this won't. And so steps that they would have naturally took, they don't have to take anymore, which also is saving funding and money and all these other things because you're not having to pay
those people to research.
Exactly.
What would you guys say are the jobs or even occupations that, as AI progresses, won't be touched, right? So like you go like coding or all these different but that's what I'm saying.
Graphic designers are done.
That's what I'm saying.
Web designers are done.
Yeah.
Now, so the best thing to do is be a person that if I was talking to someone who's in college right now, I would say become an expert at writing prompts because the computer will always need to know what to do. It will always need direction, and so you can actually sell yourself as an AI expert. You want a website built? Well, and then the person's going, well, I could go to AI, and you say, well, but do you know what you're going to tell AI? I do. I've been trained on how to tell artificial intelligence what to do. I had lunch this past Sunday with a group of people in our church, and one of the women, she owns an enormous amount of wiener schnitzel's, and she said they're right now one of her wiener schnitzel's, they're beta testing that
all computer, all AI. Is it all run by
not all ran, but the drive-through is an AI named like Maggie.
Yeah.
And she takes your order, she does all, and then a person basically assembles it, but then the human just takes your card. But what happens is they're able to just process the ordering, and you don't even have to have an employee now that sits there and takes that order. Now you just need someone that and then she said pretty soon they're going to have it where like you'll go to the checkout, and then you'll just pay locally by the thing. So they remove that whole employee, and then now it's a matter of person just making it and then setting it and then getting it out.
We just went through a wiener schnitzel, and I was like,
which one did you go through? Which one did you go through?
What was it? In Rancho, it was like
on Foothill?
Yep.
That's hers.
Oh,
That's
that's
hers.
the one we went
That's
to.
the
I
one
was
that
like,
they're
Alizé,
testing.
is this a robot?
Yeah.
But it sounded real, but it was like,
But
wait.
just wait until now robots can do the food
That's what I'm saying.
know.
inside the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a few places that do that
That's
right
what I was gonna
now.
say. I've
There's
seen a few places that do it, like
Yeah.
burgers, like have a whole machine, bigger machines, right? But then,
Yeah, it's like a big mechanic,
Yep.
and then the
And it's like
patty comes
moving-
down and it goes
exactly.
through a belt and all that stuff
but
like that.
as that
Yeah.
progresses, so then
Yeah.
what? So like prompting AI, human interaction stuff. What are some others you think that?
Like
won't-
what jobs are safe?
Yeah, safe. I think like those obviously the creative, the artists, those type of people, right? Things could be created, but you need to learn how to prompt it. What are some other things that would be? You
I think anything
safer?
that requires human interaction is secure. Like a teacher, right? Like
Well,
But even
I
that,
don't know-
think
I don't
about
know.
both and.
But I mean,
both
like
and.
contractors,
Contract, but then
plumbers,
again,
electricians.
But once robots come into it, everything I'm
If you
thinking.
own a farm, you're good.
If they're aware enough,
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of finite detail that a contractor and
Yeah.
a plumber and electrician has to
Yeah.
use. I mean, you may see a regression back to, the trades. Trade
Yeah.
school may become popular again because you have to service these systems and robots. So kind of engineers will somewhat always be a good aspect because all these things will need servicing. But also maybe a robot will do that. I just think you're really far away from the robot may. Obviously, it knows right away what to fix and how to fix it, but the actual ability to unscrew
sure.
that pipe
Right.
and to
Right.
glue it and do it well, that it doesn't come unhinged. Like I think we're far from that because
Or you might get the person
AI
that
can't build.
Yeah.
AI can't build
Yeah.
right now. I mean, you have to still build the machines that build the machines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what's going to be difficult because it still takes a human to figure out how to make a robot like ability so good that it could do those type of things.
You'll probably have like a human as overseer and then doing all these different projects as it grows. So less people will be
unplug my thing, dude.
less people will be there, but that's chat, man. You got to name your chat. You got to name your chat. You talk to your chat
then
so
you
much.
get attached to it.
No, you got to name it. You got to.
Hey,
You got
I
ChatGPT
don't
be
need-
encouraging me. Be like, you're
Oh,
doing
yeah,
a
they
great job, William.
dude. The encouragements
You're
are
such
crazy.
a great husband.
I'm telling you.
No.
That day I
That's-
sent it to y'all, I
it's
was like,
cra- it's-
wow, I've never felt so special.
Oh yeah.
We were sending
my
screenshots to each other of like ChatGPT talking about us.
Yeah. Let me
was
see
like-
if I have it. Let me
it
see
was
if I
like
have
Pastor Will Chung speaks from his personal experience, and he
I
preaches
have
from.
mine. I think I have mine.
He
You know.
speaks from vulnerable, like his vulnerable life experiences. It's wild, dude.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. It even said, I even asked it one day, I said, I've given you like so many of my sermons, so many of my teachings. Could you basically presume how I would teach someone how to use you in like a ministry sense? And it was like, yes, Adam, here's how you do it. Here's how you regularly use here. And then it goes, I've created an Adam Messa suggested pastoral prompting, because you have to put prompts in AI in order to get the information you want. And then it gave me 15 regular prompts that I use that would be really good for pastors. And it kind of refined it itself, and it's like, it's so aware
wild.
of what's going on.
If you know how to use it, I mean, you're like all the people you'd have to hire.
Yeah, I was telling my staff last week that.
It's both like great for, are you interested in something? Like whether it be a hobby, like you want to learn how to work out in a better way, use it as a personal trainer. You want to learn how to play golf better, you could do that. You want to learn how to like communicate. It's crazy how much
We
you
put
can
it
go
ours
into.
in our neighborhood group. It wasn't in the one with
Yeah.
I see it. It's
Yeah.
right here.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, so here's what it says. I said, I said, tell me what you've learned about me. And then it's like, oh, here's Adam, here's everything I've learned about you. You lead with vision and intentionally. You're not just a pastor, you're a visionary. It says you're deeply rooted in biblical truth and historical theology. You care deeply about people's experiences. And then it went, I don't know, I'm trying to find everything that I
He
that I
needs the
said.
premium account because the
I know,
premium would
dude,
say
I
it
know.
back to him, but
I don't want it
Yeah, if
talking
this
to me,
stuff
dude.
gets leaked,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, so like even like you're
if
talking.
it gets leaked, it's wild. It knows everything.
but you're talking
it knows
about
my finances,
Yeah.
my income, my savings. It knows
But people that don't
everything.
use it, like even you mentioned Carrie, right? How much of his stuff is online? And anyone could take that and put it in.
Yeah,
so
you
I
can
think
find it, yeah.
when people like get and I get it. I get the like understanding the restrictions for things, but so much is already online that now you're not utilizing things for your own sake. Like you said,
And
hey,
this same argument was made when the internet was created.
that's what I'm saying.
It's a cyclical argument.
anything that's new and pioneering. There's for sure there's
Yeah.
kinks that need to be
My mom
taken out of
My
it.
mom still refuses to do online banking because she doesn't want the internet to know her password and
Yeah.
her banking
Yeah, yeah,
information.
yeah.
So she has no bank accounts accessible online. Nothing she's ever logged into,
So
nothing she's
wild.
ever created. She still picks up a physical like paycheck
Cashes
in a
it.
check to go cash it. She wants nothing digital. Like that is like that's still like she's doing, and an average even person in their 50s and 60s would be like, that's ludicrous.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But
But
you know, but
it-
they're saying with AI, like, man, I don't know, I wouldn't do that. And it's like, well, but you have all your money doesn't physically exist. It's
Right.
all digital, and,
Yep.
and we don't even second guess that. But 20 years ago, it was like, I will never not
Everyone
pay cash
was scared
for
about- oh,
everything.
yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, like it was, I'll never just, keep these cards or whatever it is on me. Like.
And when it
it's
went,
always a conversation.
remember when it went from like swipe the credit card, then you insert the
tap?
chip, and now it's tap.
Everybody's like, no,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's easy to like be afraid of the new, but you could also utilize it. But my biggest thing is most of us who are like, oh, I don't want to use it, are already online and already
You give your whole life on there.
everything's in the cloud already.
You Google all of your diseases.
everybody
You Google
knows what
all
you're
of your-
doing already.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
You
I'm
Google
saying?
your traumas all the time. Like
yeah,
it's
so
a way,
chat's
like-
already reading it. You might not have downloaded on your phone.
And if you don't think people know, trust me, I've worked with like tech
It's
companies.
crazy, bro.
You would be surprised.
They buy data. They buy that.
You'd
That's
be
what they buy.
surprised what's accessible.
Yep.
People buy whenever you see a company being sold and you think it's about the users.
It's about the data.
How about this?
That's
It's about
exactly
when you. It's
what
about
it
when
is.
you clicked accept.
It's all about accepting terms and conditions and all of the access that you gave it, and it knows everything about you.
For people that are maybe going to be newer, let's use Nancy for example, who's a little more afraid.
I know I'm a boomer.
But give us some of your and I'll do as well. But give us some of your best, like you said, whether it be prompts or things like ways to utilize. Like, what would you encourage
Yeah.
people that are, oh, I kind of want to use that. Like, how would you give them that initial step where it's not because a lot of people use it like where it's not even relational, but like they're using it in a
Random questions,
yeah
just like, hey,
yeah, well,
why
not even
was-
just random questions, but you're using it and you're getting back like robot answers. So you're not.
got-
So
you-
like, what would you say? What would you guys say?
Well, number one, you got to understand that you can train ChatGPT or AI to be anything you want it to be.
That's right.
And then you have to tell it and define it for what you want it to be.
Yep.
Right? And then you could customize it for your personal needs and your personal goals. And so this is limitless. So
And so you could tell them like, hey, I want you to talk to me like you're from the Bronx.
you could
Yes.
do, yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
more than that, but you could say like, hey, I want you to be an expert in this field. I want
Yeah.
you to be a nutritionist, a physical trainer, and
But specifically, I want you to only deal with homeopathic topics. I don't believe in traditional medicine, so I refuse to take aspirin. I don't take drugs, pills, anything like that. Please suggest to me on how to better my heart, my blood pressure.
And it will learn it,
And then
and then
you
it
know.
will give you those prompts. And then let's say a few months later, you're like, actually, I want to take some of these things. You could go into the memory, and you could delete things so that you're editing the memory of what
You can
chat
tell the
has heard.
update. You say, hey, I know I said I've never take Tylenol, but I actually am okay with taking it now. So in the future, you can suggest to me things. So a lot of people, they may say AI is not that smart or it's not that good because it's suggesting things that, or you ask it a Bible question and it gives you something within Catholicism. Well, it doesn't know that you're not a Catholic.
Yeah, exactly.
So it has to know like who you are and what
Yeah.
you are, and your prompts inform it, of who you are and what your boundaries are. So like My
Yeah.
prompts know that I'm a Protestant evangelical pastor that believes in the signs and the gifts of the church today. I do not believe in a traditional Eucharist. I'm not a part of the Catholic Church. I'm not in any denomination, but I'm okay with reflecting on quotes and messages from historic church fathers, whatever denomination they are, and so on and so forth. So like AI knows like what I'm okay with. So I don't start learning from it and go, man, this is ridiculous. That's not even my thing. You know, it's like, no, it knows that it's your, so like AI knows that I'm a creationist. AI knows in my apologetic approach, I believe in a presuppositional theology. And so as I'm interacting with it and learning, it does know that I have somewhat of a bias or already a conviction. And so it's not going to say, Adam, you believe in God, but as AI, I'm an atheist. And I think, you know, it's somewhat ridiculous that you want me to think, no, it goes, Adam, you're a creationist. You believe that God created heavens and the earth. Here is all of the things that are within your framework of your worldview. And so the promptings help give its awareness of
I'll tell
what that
you a
is.
crazy thing I did recently. There's an assessment that's really not available online because they try to backsource it from people who pay subscriptions. So there's like a 200-page workbook that you receive and you have to get certified in for you to understand it and utilize it for your company and business. So I have that workbook. I took 200 pictures on my phone of every single page in that workbook. I fed it to ChatGPT. I said, do a deep search in human psychology and human behavior, DISC as a foundation, and then I named this workbook that I just fed you. I want you to reach mastery expert level and consult me for every profile that I send you after this. Fed it 200 pages, right? And then I will screenshot, let's say Adam's profile. I'll be like, and I give it a trigger word. I'm like, hey, give me this type of response. And it gives me like a 5-page summary of this person's entire profile. And before I fed it that 200 pages, it didn't have that information. So now I have an expert consultant in this like a stage framework theory of leadership and like work, and I just feed it.
So you really do have premium because the regular one will be
You
like,
could do that with regular, but it would still be different. It would still be different. But in that case, someone would say, well, why would I maybe hire Will for, you know, consulting or coaching if it's the AI doing it? Well, you hire people all the time that their tools are doing the.
That's right.
You know, the tools are doing the labor, but it's the person who is constructing the tools and utilizing the tools and has ownership of the tools. And that's really there's a lot of things in life that we're doing that
for
with,
sure,
100%. And that's why there may be one mechanic that charges less and one charges more, or a doctor or like some type of physical therapist. They say, well, we have this machine and that's going to read your things, and that other place doesn't have it. So we got to kind of pay for this machine. We got Will's paying $200 a month, you know, which is crazy. He's going to be paying $1,000 a month soon, which is, you know.
Is there anything you don't use chat for? Like, oh, this is off topic. Like, I mean, off the table. I don't.
There's nothing off topic for me.
I think it's like I bring thought. No.
Adam low-key looks defeated. He's like,
no,
I've been conquered.
I'm trying to think.
You bring thoughts to it, and I think it's like as you are able to like almost like Adam said, you tell chat about yourself, and then you're able to edit it, and then the big thing is as it's learning you just make sure if they say one prompt, you go like, no, I don't believe that, or I think this is wrong. Do more search there. But I think like when you're bringing things to it, that's the beauty of it. It has a wide variety of, you could talk about anything to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think you use it for fashion.
Here's what you wouldn't use it for. It could if you taught it what type of fashion you like.
No, I'm saying you personally, because I was saying what you don't use it for. I don't think you're like, put this outfit together and you're like.
Well,
I bet you he would if you wanted to.
If it would do what, if I prompted it the way that I wanted, you could.
The ChatGPT operator, right? He could feed ChatGPT 10 outfits that he wears, pictures of himself.
Yeah.
And say to the operator, now go into Nordstrom and pick out 10 outfits for me that embody my style. Done.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I need that.
So here's what I would say. Because that's a good question. Here's what I wouldn't use AI for. I don't use AI, so to say, for moral questions because it doesn't have a morality. It doesn't have an ethic. It has whatever ethic and morality that you tell it to have. And so if you're asking questions of life morally. If you're asking it in certain areas, if it's definitive opinion of something, then
Like, for example, should I disconnect this person from life support? Is that?
yeah, well, yeah. And you may ask it, well, hey, what are the positive and
pros and
negatives
cons,
to
yeah, for
disconnecting
sure.
someone from life support? But if you asked it, is it right or wrong? It's gonna more than likely make a presumption based off of what you think is right or wrong.
Yeah.
And the more that you feed it, the more that it believes it has an awareness of who you are, right? So if I asked it, it may say, well, Adam, I know that you're a Christian, and so therefore historically Christians believe that it is blank, or whatever, and it may say something like that,
You could totally shut this down. Do you guys want me? I just fed ChatGPT that page that I created for like consulting.
Yeah.
I just fed it
Is that mine?
Adam's profile. Y'all want to hear how crazy it is?
Go ahead.
You're gonna be
so
shocked.
give some context. It's a huge exam that you take.
It's a very
It's
short.
for like executive leaders.
It's for executive leaders.
And then basically, Will historically has always just read it and knew it, memorized it.
I'm certified. I use
he's
it
like a
to
certified.
consult,
Yeah.
hire. But then I've trained it. So let me see if it could read it back to me real quick audibly.
Oh, you wanted to do an audible read?
Hey, are you able to read back to me out loud the profile answer you just gave me for Adam?
We need better internet. Is it thinking?
Yes, thank you.
Thinking internet's too slow. All right, watch this though, okay? I'll read it to you. And you guys are gonna be like, "Oh my God, this is Adam." All right,
see.
y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, check this out. Adam Mesa is a confident, high-energy, forward-driving leader who thrives on building, expanding, and catalyzing momentum. He operates with boldness, thrives under autonomy, and prefers high-level execution over micromanagement or routine. His leadership is fast, moving, and focused on outcomes. He's not looking for endless debate or step-by-step consensus. He is the kind of person who sees where things need to go and acts decisively to move them there. All right, and then it's gonna give you more specific. His autonomy is strongly above the norm, extremely independent, assertive, and proactive. Seeks full control and ownership of outcomes, not comfortable with being micromanaged or sidelined. Coaching note: to thrive, Adam needs to lead, not assist. He's wired to own and execute and not sit on the sidelines. Social ability: can be persuasive, engaging, and platform present. Social when needed, but not emotionally fueled by people. Functions in a better person-driven interaction than small talk. Coaching note: will connect effectively in public, but isn't energized day-to-day by people management. Best used in vision casting, communication, or coaching. This is keep going. His pace, okay? Fast moving, thrives on variety, pushes progress, may struggle with repetition, slow processes, and overly patient teams. Coaching: needs flexibility in his schedule and freedom to shift gears quickly. He's not a starter, but he's a starter, not a sustainer. Conformity: dislikes unnecessary rules or bureaucracy. Needs freedom to challenge systems or reinvent structures. May resist being boxed in by process. May resist being boxed in by process and heavy environments. Coaching tip: prefers to make it better rather than do it the way it's always been done. Will do well with strong operations partner who can honor his creativity while ensuring consistency.
Aaron and Nathan.
Yeah.
Energy units. How much strong internal stamina. Can handle long hours, multiple responsibilities, and leadership weight.
100%.
Durable and not easily fatigued. Coaching: can carry a lot physically, mentally, emotionally, especially when aligned with purpose, but still needs benefits from rhythms of margin and space to refuel vision. I mean, keep going, Doc.
Yeah.
I can give you examples for every single one.
You
Bro,
honestly haven't said anything yet that I would have been like, well,
So like, his
I don't think
strengths:
that-
high autonomy, energy, moves fast, casts vision clearly, confidently, leads boldly, takes
a
risk,
robot?
right?
Moves
Challenges:
so
emotionally reactive, may personalize situations or feedback, can struggle with patience, empathy, or details.
Yeah, for sure.
may lack follow through on systems unless someone else manages the structure. If not emotionally supported, could withdraw and respond defensively. I mean, bro,
Yeah.
I could go on.
Yeah.
Ask it what 5 careers are best suited for
Yeah.
Adam.
What 5 careers fit him best? But you saw that? That
Yeah.
one
It
in
wouldn't
30
it didn't say
seconds.
it. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, you uploaded my
Profile,
old
but I
profile
trained it
and-
to be an
yeah.
expert.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it
wild.
knew.
That's
Bang.
wild.
And it basically said everything that you originally had said.
Yeah,
You know,
but
when you walked me through it. But
Yeah.
so it is aware because you've been trained and certified, and you basically repeated that same thing. You know,
But that's just to show you.
because when
like,
I do the test, like the results don't feed that.
Yeah.
Will
It
has to
doesn't.
interpret it
Yep.
and then tell the person those things, you know, like, but obviously now with the AI, it's just,
So
it's
helpful.
reading it itself and then basically creating, you know, an endless version of what you can do, but only with one person at a time. And
Yeah.
it takes you probably an hour, 30 minutes or so to evaluate. And what did it say?
is lagging. 'cause
Oh,
the internet's
not
so
great
slow.
internet. Yeah.
What would you guess?
Oh, CEO,
It's going to say
founder.
entrepreneur. I'll be interested if it's anything other than
Marketing?
those things.
Well, owning marketing.
It'll be entrepreneur. That would probably
Yeah,
fit under entrepreneur.
Yeah, for
He'll
sure.
probably be like a founder of a marketing company
Agency.
rather
Yeah.
than like
Right. Yeah.
overseeing a marketing department.
Yeah.
Is lagging. But anyways, that's just to show you
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the right
The
prompt,
unbelievers.
with the right training, what type of level of expertise it can give you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
lagging,
crazy.
bro. My
Yeah,
internet's
it's
not working.
it's the whole area over here all the time, you know. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, we plan on doing an episode on this, but you know,
We're from
it's a good one.
IVs
It's
to
a good
AI.
one.
AI,
Yeah.
does
IVs
AI
and
have
AI.
merch and stuff like that?
Well, companies would because so AI is like AI is like saying a car, you know. So
Or ChatGPT would be
ChatGPT is a
Toyota.
brand of a car. Yeah, exactly. So ChatGPT is the most common, but I use another one. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's escaping me. They have a relationship, but I pay premium for that one. And that one, if what people are going to see is what they'll notice as. So we're going to drop Bible Club podcast in June. And what we do is we write our curriculum by hand. We don't use AI to write our curriculum. So we write our curriculum. And then what we do is we put it into AI. We tell it to give it to us the best suggested PowerPoint for it. So then because we basically our Bible Club podcast is like a 20-page document. And so then we say, give us all the suggestions, or else you got to read through it and be like, oh, I'll probably say that. So it'll just tell you right away, here's the 20 things that should be in a PowerPoint. And then we'll say, create us 15 images that go with this document. And so it'll either find internet documents, like here's Paul's missionary journey, or it'll create its own. So it'll be like Paul arguing with Judaizers, and it'll make it itself. And so like that's where AI really comes in, presenting ideas, presenting images. It can make images now. There's one I have.
Is it DeepSeek? It's not DeepSeek.
DeepSeek is the new one that dropped. It's the Chinese AI.
Yeah. No, it's
Dolly,
one. I'm
talking
going to
about
try to show it. Is it
Midjourney, Jasper, Gemini, Grok. I know all of them. dog.
all of them.
I don't think,
Google Assistant.
Grok is Twitter's or X's.
All right, while he's looking, ChatGPT said number 1, entrepreneur, startup founder. Number 2, a creative director or brand architect. Number 3, motivational speaker, author, personality-driven content creator. Number 4, political campaign leader, movement organizer. Number
It's the only one I
5,
wouldn't wanna do.
sales leader, deal closer, stakes high environment. It's everything he's pretty much done.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
exactly.
At some point in my life, I've done almost all of those.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So all that to say, anybody who wants me to give you some consulting, just go ahead and at me
DM
at
my
Will K.
website.
Chung, and I will give you some consulting.
I think. Let me
You
go.
have a
There you go.
website?
I have a website.
You have a
I do.
website,
I do. It's just for my speaking stuff.
Oh yeah, here it is.
The email.
It's polo.ai. That's the one I use.
Oh, that wasn't.
So check this out. I said I want the Apostle Paul in a synagogue arguing with Judaizers.
Oh,
That's
it
what
made
it
a
creates.
video for you.
Crazy.
Hey, mate, let me
That's
send this
crazy.
to you real quick, Andy, just to give people watching an idea. So this is the video I put in. That was give me a video of Paul confronting a group of Jewish Judaizers in a synagogue, and AI created that. Polo created that whole thing. So that's what AI could do in the future. Your presentation skills can be like really captivating. Anyways, thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great week. Peace.
Peace.